Chapter 4, Mishnah 3. In Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 13 through 21, the Torah states the laws of a motzei shemra, slanderer. This is a husband who betrothed a nara and claimed that she was not a virgin on the night of their wedding, nisuyin, and brought witnesses who testified that she committed adultery during the betrothal period, erusin. If the witnesses are found to have been lying, the husband receives lashes for slandering his wife, and he must pay a fine of 100 selas to the father. However, if the witnesses were telling the truth, she receives the death penalty of sekila, stoning, for the crime of adultery, and the sekila takes place at the entrance of her father's house. The Torah passage of the motzei shemra refers specifically to a virgin na'ara who is accused of having committed adultery during erusin. It also specifies one who was born a Jewess. The Mishnah teaches the laws that apply to a girl who was born a non-Jew and converted. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. If a female convert converted together with her daughter, and the daughter, when she was a virgin na'ara, committed adultery during erusin, she is to be put to death by strangulation and not stoning. She is not executed at the entrance of the father's house, and if the witnesses who testified against her are found to be false, the husband does not pay the fine of 100 selas. The law of death by stoning at the entrance of the father's house, if she is guilty, and the husband's fine of 100 selas, if he was lying, pertain only to a virgin na'ara who was born a Jewess, and not to one who was born a non-Jew. The next section of the Mishnah deals with a virgin na'ara who is partially a convert and partially a born Jewess. If her conception was not in sanctity, but her birth was in sanctity, that is, she was conceived before her mother converted and born after the conversion, she is put to death by stoning, as in the case of an ordinary Jewess. However, the other laws stated in the passage of the motzei shemra do not apply to her. She is not executed at the entrance of the father's house, and if the witnesses who testified against her are found to be false, her husband does not pay the fine of 100 selas. If her conception and her birth were in sanctity, i.e., even her conception occurred after her mother converted, she is considered to have been born a Jewess in every respect. Thus, all the standard laws apply to her. The following laws concern a virgin na'ara who was born a full-fledged Jewess. If she has a father but does not have an entrance to the father's house, i.e., her father is alive but does not own a house, or if she has an entrance to the father's house but she does not have a father, i.e., her father is dead but he owned a house that now belongs to his heirs, she is put to death by stoning, even though the stoning cannot be performed at the entrance of her father's house, because the Torah requires the entrance of the father's house only as a mitzvah in its own right, and not as a necessary condition for the penalty of stoning.